And hello to all my Taurus friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for December 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Tauruses, a Celtic Cross spread. Celtic Cross is a great spread for general readings because it looks a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, but it focuses the most on what is going on right here, right now. In this case, it is December. It is also the only spread that I do that devotes an entire card and a position to the environment. So there's something around you Tauruses in the month of December that is very relevant to your month. We're going to look into that as well. They've asked that I conclude your reading with a fun one. I love doing animal totems. It's going to be animal totem because they've asked that I do one of them for you. So that is basically right here, right now. Give Taurus the animal totem so they can put it into play right now. There is no kind of in-between transition. It is just right to the point for my great Tauruses. We're also going to conclude your reading with the Rune Stone, which we always do. Do some moon cycles for you. You're going to want to stick with it to get to those moon cycles. They are out of this world this month, quite literally. And that'll also transition into homily, which is a spiritual pep talk done by me. So we're going to get started right now, guys. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in my overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what is going on. And we are live and recording. All right, Taurus, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. It satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now, and you are. Now, the Celtic Cross does go a little tall. My camera is a little widescreen, so part of this will get cut off, but I will show you all in detail at the very end, so bear with me. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you, Taurus. This is what's before you, the recent past, and this is what's in front of you, the near future. This is what's above you, something that you're aware of, kind of on screen. This is what's below you, something that you're not. And then we have running up the sides with number 7. We on screen still, kind of. 8, number 9, and number 10 I'm going to bend in for the sake of the camera. So this is your Celtic Cross here. I don't do a whole lot to the Celtic Cross. The main thing I do is I check my people to see if my court cards are people cards. So we're going to do that first. Actually check the inverts first because we do have a lot blocked. I'm just looking at how much we have blocked here, and it may be, well, the sides is very clear. So 2, 3, 4. It's a good distribution. It is going to stick the way it is, even though the main cross is very blocked, very inverted. So let's check those court cards. I'm going to do a discard for each one to see if that's about a person. They say no. We're using energy definition there. How about this one? Also no, energy definition there. And we got one final court card, person. And they also say no. So we're using full energy definitions for my great Tauruses today. Virgo got the same thing. Virgo also on a Celtic Cross. Also on animal totems too. So you earth signs, Taurus and Virgo, something else this month. So the last thing that I do to the Celtic Cross is just my major arcana cards get an angel oracle card attached to them. So this one's going to pull this. I got a death card in the middle. That's going to pull this one. That's going to kind of have to make this stuff move a little bit. Magician over here, going to pull this. Moon over here. You guys got a lot of angel oracle, or I'm sorry, major arcana cards which are pulling the angel oracle. So you guys got a lot of them in this spread. So it is going to be a very interesting month. It's going to be an interesting read because there are some major themes in here. Let me show you up close. All right, so I'm going to get this one out of here just for the moment to kind of show you the main cross. So now you can kind of see, now that I'm blocking this with my hand there, kind of like that. Now you can see your main cross. That's how the cross goes, up close to it. The one hiding back here is the death card, right? And then we got hello from heaven, so that's pretty clear what that means. We'll talk about that momentarily, but here's the beginning of the cross. The before position, recent past. The forward position is going to be the queen there of swords. The above position is going to be our tower card with victory. Our bottom position, 10 of cups. Then we got running up the sides with number 7. Number 8, that's set, that's your environment. Number 9, and final outcome for the month, number 10, King of Cups. Let's get to work. We have a lot to kind of decipher and pick apart here, Taurus, as it turns out. So I'm just going to kind of create a little bit of room for myself. I'm going to kind of move stuff out of the way, kind of stretch it a little bit. Now that you've seen everything, I can kind of put it where I want, where it feels good, where I like it. All right, Taurus, let us start at the beginning, shall we? Taurus, you and all that you are. A lot of you are being inauthoritative with work. The workplace, that work corner of ours, it is a big part of our lives too, Taurus, so you're going to have to kind of get on this. I don't know what it is that you're slacking with or what you need to do in the workforce, the work corner. Maybe just apply yourself more. Maybe it's time to go for something better, greater. Hard to say. It's going to be different for everybody, but the King of Wands here is showing inverted, so it's basically saying there has been a lack of authority here in a lot of my Tauruses. We really need to grab the bull by the horns here, Taurus, and we got to get back to the Taurus vibration. We got to get back to your true core self here, which is really going after something very aggressively and hard. So that's very important, what is going on right here, right off the bat in December. So the work corner, let me just tell you too, it's a very large place. It can be work, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, entrepreneurship. For most people, it's the JOB, but it can also be about hobbies and interests, learning new things. All that kind of falls into that very big umbrella of the work corner. So whatever you got of that going on, they could be describing there for you. You need to fix this. You need to do more of it. Be more authoritative, right? Now, what crosses you is a complete renewal with death. If the death card comes in, usually that does not mean physical death. But since I have hello from heaven attached to it, for some people, Tauruses, this is going to be a direct hello from heaven, especially those of you who have just experienced a death very, very recently. I'm just going to call it November into December here. If it's before that, if it's like September, October, it's probably not the case here. I feel like this would be much more recent for them to be kind of bumping into your spread here to do one of these, which is always very nice. We like to see hello from heaven. It says in the card that your loved one in heaven is doing just fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessing. So it shows that some of you are worried about this loved one, or were worried, or maybe had a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, that kind of stuff. So they're kind of doing this opportunity here to say hello from heaven. For everybody else, the rest of my Tauruses, we're using the energetic definition of the death card, which means a complete renewal. And the renewal probably goes back to that work corner adjustment. So whatever that is, you need to do this entirely. You need to do this in full. You cannot cut corners here. You cannot do half measures. Half measures are not going to work here, Taurus. You got to go the full route with it here. 200%, okay? So that's what the death card means. It means complete renewal, regeneration, doing something all, okay? Keep that in mind with that work corner message for you. As we go back in time, they show that something was broken before, and that is probably part of the struggle that is still entering into your December, because this is very relevant. They do say nurture with my Oracle Angel card. It says, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So love yourself the same way that you love others, okay? Do not be too hard on yourself. Maybe some of you are from something in the past, had something that you did not like from the past, or, you know, this part here could go way back. We're reading for the recent past, but if it's still entering into your December, there can be an attachment of some form here where you just really are too hard on yourself about something, and you really got to forgive yourself. And sometimes that happens. You know, we are our own worst critics at times. So the Magician on an invert, like it's showing here, means that something is broken here. So something was broken, or something was broken past the point of fixing. It could not be healed type of thing. It could not be put back together. It's like Humpty Dumpty. So keep that in mind for those of you who have taken something here in the past, the recent past, in a very tough, difficult way. Spirit here is saying that it was just broken. It was just the way it was. Okay, so be kind to yourself. Moving forward into the future, Taurus, they show the Queen of Swords, so really how important it is to nurture your mind here. The sword suit means mental. It's the cerebral suit. Very, very mental health here with Queen of Swords. It's like the nurturing motherly energy. They talked about that in your past too. You see what they're doing here? They're basically saying here to like nurse yourself back up here. And what this future position means is that they view that you're going to do great at this because it's upright. If it was inverted, they'd be basically saying like, this is going to be an issue and you need to work on this. You still need to work on it, of course, but what they're saying here is that you can get to a really good place here. Really good headspace in the future. You obviously got to forgive, you know, whatever they're talking about in the past stuff to get here, but you can absolutely overcome that. You can get there. Nurturing of the mind, okay? Keep that in mind. As we get into the above position, they bring in the Tower card. It is inverted, so it's basically a little bit slower of a change. The Tower is a quick, abrupt change. And by saying it's inverted here, they're saying you kind of saw the writing on the wall a little bit here, Taurus, about what this quick change in December is. You can kind of see it before it happens, or you kind of had a feeling it was going to happen this way. Something like that is what they bring in with quick change. It's not always a bad thing. A lot of people read the Tower as a bad negative card. I do not necessarily, because sometimes quick change can be bad, but sometimes it can also be very good and very beneficial for us, and we don't know which it is because it's just that quick energy, but it's something that you kind of had an eye on. You had an eyeball at least on it. They do bring in victory next, so that makes me feel like for a lot of you it's like a much better thing, or at least it gives you the opportunity to do something very positive with this. It says in the card that your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. The F word. So trust the process. Things are going the way they probably should be. When we get into the bottom position, now we're talking about something you're not aware of. And what you're not aware of, they're saying, is how important or how jaded or how disconnected something with your family actually is right now. The love corner is being pulled here. And because we're talking about the love corner, I'll tell you about chemistry tracking in a minute. But first, let me read this card because this is the second best card in the tarot deck. It's a very good energy card, but it's coming in blocked. It's inverted. Why is that? Something's in the way. Okay, so something is in the way of how good this energy can be with the family. This is like, I call it my Disneyland energy card. It's like the energy should be just wonderful and amazing, but it's not. So why is it not? Okay, that's a question that I would be asking yourself. And since this is a general reading, Spirit does an excellent job of being able to touch everybody, but at the same time, nothing beats a personal private reading. I offer a wide variety of those on my website, scottsagent.com, all the way from small, all the way up to full service, little something for everybody there, and they are all personalized just to you, so they're very, extremely accurate. When we have this here, they want you to get to this place of joy. They want you to get there. They feel like you can. They're saying you're not aware of how much energy is really needed in the love corner. So even though we're talking about work needing a lot of energy right now, they're saying that there's an aspect, and I don't think it's the whole love corner. It's not like your whole family is a mess. It's not like your love situation is a mess. I don't feel it is, but it's probably just like one aspect, one point of it that is off, and that's what they're saying here. You get that one thing that is off corrected, turn around in the right direction, and you are going to be smooth sailing, full stream ahead. Very nice way to end the year, actually. So the chemistry tracking, if you've seen me do that the last few months, I do still do that. I'm just not going to talk about it here. I'm going to post it publicly. It is much more inclusive of everybody if I do it that way. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page, the entire kind of printout or write-up on it, so you can see not just yours, Taurus, but you can see your moms, your daughters, you can see your sons, you can see your best friends, you can see your neighbors, you can see everybody's chemistry, the way things are going in the month of December as dictated by Spirit. Now it's going to be on my Facebook page and website as well, scottsagent.com, posted on my Talking About page. So check out chemistry tracking, guys. Let's go into number 7. Number 7 is your advice section here from Spirit. Advice is to say action with the love corner. We just talked about that. But they're saying here that you do want to move forward with this. You do not want to neglect this. You don't want to put this off. You don't want to delay it. We want action. Action in the love corner. For some of you, that this may be more dating direct type thing, or this is steps. Because people ask me that all the time. What is an action in the love corner mean? What does an action in any corner mean? Action with work, action with health. It means a step. For most people, it is a step. It's kind of an open term, but that's what we have to do in a general reading because it's going to be different for everybody. Some of you Tauruses are single, some of you are coupled up, some of you are married, all, bunch of different ranges, bunch of different frequencies, but they show here steps in the love corner. So steps with those that are close to your heart is what they're talking about here. So for some of you, it is taking steps to find and meet somebody. For others of you, this is more like taking steps with the person you already have, moving things in the right direction. Don't let things go. Up here, when we move to number 8, this is your environment, Taurus. Probably why we're talking about the Celtic Cross at all today. They bring in the moon card, so that means the energy around you is just weird. We have the moon energy, which basically means you're not seeing things clearly. It's kind of like half-truths. It's very shadowy and mysterious and maybe doesn't make a lot of sense right now. So they're saying your environment is not the best it could be for you. It is, I don't know if they want you to actually, as soon as I was going to say, I don't know if they want you to do anything about that or just kind of be cautious. I look at my Oracle Angel card and they are very clear about what they want you to do. Clear your space. This is usually more of a physical type of deal. This is less about spiritual movement and it's more about physical stuff. And it says clear your space, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use Feng Shui. Now, I pay more attention to just the basic term clear your space. Okay, so this is like getting rid of stuff that is on your shoulders. That, I guess that would be spiritual type of thing, you know, kind of emotional baggage perhaps, or even mental baggage. Get that cleared up, because that's holding you down in your environment, what's around you, because you're wearing it all the time, like a backpack, you know. For others of you, this is something you just got to get rid of. Maybe you got to sell something, repurpose something. You got to kind of like just redo things, get rid of, you know, some old stuff, go through an old room, go through an old closet, donate clothes to charity. I mean, a bunch of different things that can be here. But your environment can be cleaned up. That is the main point. So regardless of which aspect of this it is for you, the main point is that they want you to clear it up. Clear up this environment, because you can. They're not saying, hey, you know what, it's just messed up. It is the way it is, and you're just going to have to go through it for a little while. Because at first, when I was reading it, I thought that that's where they're going with it, but they actually said, no, not the case. You can actually fix this. Very good. Number 9, this is hopes and fears, guys, and it is a good hope to have. We have wish fulfillment. The hope is that all of your dreams will come true. December is going to be wonderful and beautiful, and that's a good hope to have. Taurus, I'm here with you, and I love it. It looks good. I'd rather have you be looking at the hopes than the fears. So the optimism is good and appreciated. You are looking at things in the right direction. Things have momentum here, and there's a little bit of destiny with this too. So keep doing that. I would keep going in the right direction with things, but you know, keep in mind too, I just don't want you to get lost in the translation that you still have to do the work. You can't let the universe like do everything for you and then present it to you and be like, oh, here's my little silver plate of everything I asked for. You got to do the work. You got to meet the universe halfway on things. So just keep that in mind. They bring in sensitivity, guys, for your Oracle Angel card. It says you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Where did we talk about that before? We talked about that with nurture in the past position, about loving yourself the same way you love a child. That's what they talk about here. Sensitivity. So emotions are heightened right now. The energies around you are heightened right now. Be kind to yourself. You know, put yourself in good spaces. That's probably why they want your energy environment also cleared. We move into your final outcome, guys. Final outcome is very authoritative with the love corner. So I feel like the way that your December ends is very different from the way it starts. And this is probably a good thing. This is probably good because they show very authoritative with the love corner, with the way things are unfolding and happening and being put together. Otherwise, they would have showed me this inverted. They would have showed me that this is still a problem, this is still an issue, and you got to do more work with this. They don't show that. They show at the end of the month, you can get a lot of this stuff cleared up, but you got to do all the other parts to get to that card, guys. Okay, so very important. Let's grab that Rune Stone while I'm still looking at everything. They're already mixed up, but I'll give them one more swirl. And here we go, Taurus Rune Stone. It's going to be this one right here. All right, good one for us. This is the rune of Journey. It's a kind of a weird shaped letter R, but I'm assuming that the Nordic word for journey starts with the letter R. I'm assuming that's where they're going with that. But anyway, this is the rune of Journey, guys, so Journey. We have Journey kind of all over the place, really. We have Journey with the fast traveling change that is kind of happening to you already or is going to be happening to you very, very soon. The journey of getting over certain things from the past, that is always a journey for everybody. Getting to a good headspace in the future, the journey toward getting the family situation, the one little aspect of it, ironed out so that everything else can be so good. Getting the environment straight is a journey. And then ending is the conclusion of your month, just ending so different from the way it starts if you take this journey. All things good there. So very nice. Let's grab that animal totem and we're going to send you off. I can do that one. Let me check my list. See what animal totem that is. I have a list of very many animal totems. You got a good one here. Nice strong eagle. Eagle animal totem comes in. I always tell people, especially on a common animal totem like that, of course, if an eagle means something specific to you directly, like let's say, you know, that was my high school mascot, or that's my favorite bird, or whatever. Spirit could be using that to tell you that something about that. Bring attention to it, bring awareness to it. For everybody else, you know, the eagle to me means taking flight, that you guys are good to launch here. You don't have to wait. You don't have to delay. You don't got to hold back. You don't got to fight the current of these changes. They're going to happen the way they're going to happen. Eagle is also an apex predator. He's smart about it because he's looking from way up high. You know, he's scouting out what his next move is going to be, in the same way that you should be treating December. You should make good decisions, but also quick when you have to make those quick decisions, because the quick is kind of all around you already. The environment, or not the environment, but the change in the wind is already in place. They're showing that by the Tower card that we read first. So what else with Eagle? The Eagle, he really kind of grasps onto things. You know, he, for example, scooping a fish out of the water, those claws, you know, he does not let go. Once he's got a hold of something, he is committed to it. And I'm sure you've seen a video before where an eagle or any kind of other bird of prey tries to take some prey that is too big for it, and it has to kind of figure out something else because it just can't fly again. It's too heavy or something like that. So it's talking here, I think, metaphorically about being really attached to ideas, really attached to goals and things that you're trying to do in December, and really just taking a firm grasp on it. Just like Taurus, grab it by the horns, grab life by the horns, grab those Taurus bull horns, which are horns. Okay, so you get where I'm going with this. Grasp onto something, commit to it, decide you're going to do it, and then go through the process. Your month is going to end so good if you do that. So there we go. There's your animal totem, guys. Now I'm going to send you off to your moon cycles, which are out of this world. Thank you so much for sticking with, because you're going to enjoy these moon cycles, as well as your homily. They're themed this month. So I'm going to cut away now. And when I say cut away, I actually mean blast away. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, and I figure what better place, what better environment to bring you the moon cycles than the lunar surface herself. So let's talk about some December, because oxygen is running low and I got to get back to Earth so I can give you guys your homily. But first, let's talk about some December moons, shall we? The first thing that comes in December is the new moon. The new moon is the best time to attract new things and bring new things into your life. This happens on December 12th. Doesn't mean you have to do these things on December 12th, but earlier in the month is much better than later for bringing in new things. So whether it's something new with health, some new financial plan for the new year perhaps, maybe something new with love if you're trying to find some new love, earlier part of December is the best time to do this, guys. Something new with work, also early December, guys. The universe doesn't care what you use it for, but these lunar energies are already all around us, so why not use them to your benefit? I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet that you guys can check out on my website. It's free every single month, and that is a little graphic illustration to show you how these moon cycles move in and out. But before I let you go, let's talk about that full moon, because the full moon comes in the day after Christmas, December 26th. So the end of the month is the best time to get stuff out of your life, guys. Whether it's baggage, projects you need to get wrapped up and finished, maybe something you got to sell, something you got to get wrapped up, something toxic you got to get out of your life, maybe a person, maybe a bad habit. The end of the month is the best target date for these things. And again, the moon cycle cheat sheet is parked on scottsagent.com if you'd like to see a graphic illustration of this. But let's get back to Earth and deliver you your homily. All right, friends, welcome into your homily, December 2023 edition. My name is Scott Sagent, and the topic of this homily today is giving yourself the space to grow. And in the same way that outer space has no boundaries, it is infinite in every single direction, so are you as a spiritual sovereign being, child of God. The only restrictions that you have, that we all have, are the ones that we impose upon ourselves. So that's what we're going to be talking about a little today here. Stresses, anxieties, limiting beliefs, and of course fears. These are things that we impose upon ourselves that hold us down and do not let our higher selves reach our full potential. And we can see real, true examples of this in the physical world. Because even though we're talking about spiritual here today, as above, so below, and there are physical, real-world examples I can give you. The first one I'm popping up on the screen here, this is a picture of two basil plants. I got them posted right next to each other so you can see the size difference, the growth difference. These, I grew these from seeds, first of all, in my office, so they do not look like the basil plants that you probably see at your store, but that's okay. But for the sake of this video, you'll understand the difference here because these seeds started at the exact same time. The only difference between them is the fact that one is in a larger pot than the other. One is in a smaller, more constrictive pot. And you can see the massive growth difference between the two. No other factors have changed except for that. But let's also talk about something that's called a plecostomus. This is an aquarium fish. It is part of the sucker catfish family. And these fish, like many wonderful animals, have the ability to adapt to their environment in a large way. These plecostomuses, these plecos, they can actually adapt their size to the tank size that is surrounding them, basically their environment. They're adapting to their environment. And this comes as probably a survival mechanism if you think about it, because if they get splashed into a puddle and they can't get back to the main hub of their lake, of their pond, well, now they're forced to grow up in this little constricted area. So of course there would be little benefit to growing to be the entire size of this puddle or their new tank. Of course that would be very detrimental to their health. They would not make it. They would be too big for their environment, right? So they have an ability to adapt their size and slow down their growth rate to the size of the tank. So what happens? This is my question for you. What happens if you remove these constrictions and restrictions on yourself? So for example, choose the thing that holds you down the most, that restricts you the most from the person you're trying to be and the places you're trying to go in life. Imagine how that would feel and how much better your life would be if that was out of the way. Imagine if that was solved. How much better and how much better of a trajectory you would be on as a person. You would feel fantastic and you would feel like there's a big weight lifted off your shoulder too, and that there's maybe nothing holding you back. Well, this is all encouragement so you can go and attack that one thing, whatever that is. And of course, that is an inner game thing that takes some inner work, and that's not what this video is all about, but you gotta start somewhere. And the first thing you gotta do is bring awareness to the problem, and that is how you can start addressing it. How do I solve this problem? What are the things I can do? What is the inner work that I can do to get past this and live my best expansive life ever with no restrictions and giving yourself infinite amount of space? So I encourage you all to look at that one thing. And if you're very motivated, maybe look at a few things in your life that apply to this set of circumstances so that you can bring awareness to it and you can solve this inner work yourself and you can get these restrictions out of your way, because of course, none of us are ever going to win a race that we don't start. None of us are ever going to complete a project that we don't begin. There's only one way to start it, and that is with you. So that concludes your homily for December 2023. I thank you so much for joining the readings. I hope you have a great December, giving yourself plenty of space, and I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.